I wrote a book a few years ago on my career, and I suppose I coined a phrase or a term saying that rugby is great for the soul but terrible for the body. So I grew up in New Zealand as a young Kiwi. I wanted to be an international rugby player. At 16 years old, I realised it wasn't going to happen for me in New Zealand, so I got on a plane to England. I took my rugby boots with me and I chased my dream in a different country, trying to just make it in rugby or chase a dream. I exceeded everything I set out to do. So when I retired after 16, 17 years of rugby, I was broken. I retired through a knee injury. I had a degenerative hip problem and I had a lot of brain trauma when I played. I had a lot of concussion. I was dropping things like noises, environments. I couldn't wait to get out of these rooms because there was too much noise. And I went to bed every night thinking that I'm going to get early onset dementia. If you have a damaged brain, what can you do? And I sat with my wife and we kind of formulated a bit of a plan on what we could do to put me back together. And this is where I came across hyperbaric therapy for my brain, and a very chance sort of encounter with an employee here at Aviv invited me down to come look at the clinic. I was aware of hyperbaric therapy, but I'd never seen it on the scale that it is here and the offering that is here in terms of an all-encompassing program. I found everything from a physio, a rehab specialist. I had access to the hyperbaric oxygen. I had a dietitian. Everything that I probably needed post my professional rugby player, I found here. So my first experience of Aviv truly blew me away. The facility, for one, is beautiful. The people, the service, the staff, the attention to detail, the knowledge, the care. But then ultimately, seeing hyperbaric therapy in a targeted approach to the brain. So seeing how the chambers are set up and understanding the whole program of you need to be in here for a certain amount of time. I enjoyed the first phase because I got to learn about myself. I understood where I needed to work on. I suppose the only daunting thing for me was actually scanning my brain. I was very scared to do this, not because I'm scared of an MRI, but just scared to see the truth. I was scared to see my reality. As soon as I'd kind of parked that day one and understood where I was, I got very excited because I had the world's best facility at my fingertips to improve myself. The journey was fun. I was really sort of motivated to make the most of the opportunity. I didn't want to miss a chance, you know. So having 2 hours dedicated time to myself, to focus on myself, to focus on repairing my brain every day was amazing. So I had a progressive program in there targeting all these areas that I was probably lacking or down on with my scores and my pre-assessments. I got to target these things with a targeted approach and work on them progressively. So they got harder, they got more challenging. So I kind of saw it as my gym for the brain. And then when I came out the other side, my improvement was significant in those areas, which was mind-blowing in many ways. And then I think the one thing that people might not know about is the community you build here. You spend 3 months of your life here, 4 months with the testing. You share the experience with other people going through similar challenges, I suppose. Everyone's here for their own reasons. You know, just turning up and seeing the same smiling faces every day, and that community sort of aspect really, really helps the whole experience. Subjectively, I was feeling great. I was walking around telling everyone how good it was, but then the metrics and the data and the report came back of my before and afters sort of scans, tests, and blew me away with the improvement I got. Physically, from being an active sort of dad, I'm back. I'm doing what I should be doing as a 37-year-old father. In terms of brain health and the sort of how that's affected me as a person at home, the noises, the distractions, the frustrations that I had have been alleviated. And again, that comes back to knowing deep in myself that I'm better now. I'm in a good place, which is fantastic. Regardless of your background, whether it be sports, business, whatever, it all starts with your health and you as an individual. You can't be a good sportsman, you can't be a good businessman, husband, if your health is poor. You may be able to get away with it for so long, but it will catch up with you, and then everything else around will decline. don't wait to decline to get better, because it might be too late. You know, I waited with my hip, I waited 3 years, and I went through the pain of 3 years. I wasted 3 years of my family's life and my life of waiting to get something done. And the same thing with my brain. I waited. I had 3 years of sleepless nights, 3 years of concern, until I suppose we found each other, and life-changing for me.